This is going to be a controversial video because a lot of you like Andrei Jikh and you think that he knows what he's talking about. But I'm going to say something. I just don't think Andrei Jikh knows what he's talking about with regard to investing, because he's really big on dividend stocks as quote-unquote passive income. But that's really kind of a ridiculous thing, because the truth is dividends are not passive income. In fact, when you buy stocks or indexes based upon them getting a dividend, you're basically buying companies where the CEO has no idea how to use this excess cash to make more money. And isn't that the whole point of investing in general? You have this cash, you don't want to start a business or do something with it, so what you do is you buy an ownership interest in other corporations that are able to use that money to spend on research and development and grow that cash into something quite large. So when you basically are investing in a dividend stock kind of company, basically the CEO has no clue how to figure out a way to increase the value of that money. And Andrei Jikh's view is, well, this is passive income. It's just a way to just get some money coming in, and as a result, you're just sitting on your behind and you're making money. But the truth of the matter is that dividend stocks tend not to do as well long term as other stocks. For instance, the best case example is, let's say you were looking for dividends 10 years ago. You bought AT&T, and that was paying like what, 7% interest for a long period of time on AT&T. Well, guess what? You didn't make anything from your AT&T stock. It barely went up at all. Whereas the stock that did not pay any dividend, Tesla, went up to the moon. Are you saying that Elon Musk should have been paying out cash to shareholders? They would have gone broke, because a lot of the time they were not doing so well. So focusing on the dividends is a misplaced priority, because your ultimate goal really should be to make as much money as possible. And if you're just focusing on dividends, you're kind of focusing on mediocre companies, and a group of mediocre companies where the CEO is not capable of actually spending the proper amount of money to generate more wealth. If you think about it, over long periods of time, dividend paying stocks actually do less well than the growth kind of stocks. And well, why is that? For one thing, they have less money to work with because they gave back the money to you, the shareholders. So they can't use that money to grow further, to expand, create, invest in new ideas, products, and services. Instead, they're just returning the money back to you and see how that goes. The reason why this is a bad idea is because it's basically forcing a sale of a stock every month or quarter every year and just handing it to you and making it a taxable event. If you held the passively like a Vanguard index growth fund and didn't sell, that would not be a taxable event. Whereas if you had the dividend paying ones, you would be paying a tax on this dividend you're receiving for no apparent reason. I mean, if you really need the money, you can always sell your ETFs anyway, so I don't really see the need for that. I actually tested this out. I was looking at how did the Vanguard, just the S&P 500 do over the last 10 years, and that went up like 12%. Whereas then you look for equity income or dividend appreciation, something like that, and it did like 9.5. So you really are paying for those dividends. It's not free money. It's actually causing underperformance in a lot of these stocks. So when Andrei says he's creating a portfolio of passive income and he's rather young, it kind of shows that he doesn't understand how to invest, which kind of makes sense because he's more of a magician. Maybe the part of his YouTube is that his illusion is that he makes you think that he knows what he's talking about when it comes down to finance, but he really doesn't, because someone who's giving you financial advice to give you the idea of how to make the absolute highest return, whereas his idea is more of it feels good. Oh, I'm using my Robinhood, I'm accumulating dividends, but who cares? What's the point of that? There really is no apparent point or objective. In fact, I think he reinvests all of his dividends, which means that he's getting taxable events for no apparent reason. I mean, I would rather own stocks like Tesla that are growing enormously in a bull market than owning AT&T, where it's, or like a tobacco company or something like that, where it pays you a nice dividend, but it's not growing and you're not getting much capital appreciation. So a lot of these people, they seem interesting, they get a lot of hits, but the real truth is they don't really seem to know how to invest. You have to actually think about it for a moment. Just because they seem entertaining and they get a lot of hits, it doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. I mean, I think Andrei Jikh, I think he lost 100% of his money having money on Voyager, and he promoted FTX. So some of these people, they're a little bit clownish, to be honest. What do you think, Danny?
I think he's very entertaining. He knows how to do some good editing, but I wouldn't take stock advice from him, or really crypto related advice. But you know, if you like it and you think that he can do good, then maybe go ahead. But don't blame me, because I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he really unfortunately doesn't seem to know what he's doing. And I think passive income is such a popular topic on YouTube. People are like, oh, I'm getting free money, I'm getting free cash all the time. But that's not doesn't really quite work out that way. There's no such thing as free money in the stock market. Dividends just come out of the capital of the corporation. It's almost like a trick. They have like mediocre companies. How do you get people to buy the stock? Well, we're declared dividend, and all the Robinhood people will buy in, and they'll be interested in that.
Also, if you're in a real bear market, the dividend paying stocks will go down a lot too. So who cares if you got a 4% dividend if your stock went down 30%? Is it really that great?
That's especially true when we're in the bank crisis. I don't believe that Andrei Jikh, thankfully I don't think that he was promoting bank stocks. Some of them were paying a lot in terms of dividends, but always ignore the dividend. That I've never met a single person who said they made billions of dollars based on having a dividend. So that just doesn't make sense as a good investment rule. Anyway, click like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.